The European Union might take legal action against the United Kingdom as Brexit treaty talks are plunged into crisis. Britain has already admitted its plan to undercut parts of the Withdrawal Agreement is illegal under international law. The British government intends to introduce legislation that will change agreed rules on goods moving between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK. European diplomats say Britain is playing a game of Brexit chicken by threatening to collapse the process and challenging Brussels to blink first. Now, Brussels has also warned London's move will scupper any chance of a trade deal. Meantime, both sides have held an emergency meeting over the issue. Ollie Barrett joins us live now for more on this story. Ollie, it seems that Boris Johnson might even be comfortable with breaking obligations of this agreement. Is there any indication of a resolution after the emergency meeting today?
Not really, not yet. We certainly know that the Europeans raised the issue of possible legal action. Sources in Brussels are also suggesting that if the UK were to go down this path, then that could raise the prospect in the future of a trade war between the UK and the EU as well. We've also heard from briefings that Michel Barnier, the chief EU negotiator, heading into his round of talks with the UK later on today with David Frost, has been briefing European ambassadors and has told the European diplomats and ambassadors that at the moment the Brexit talks on a trade deal are making no progress. So it really does seem that we are at loggerheads at the moment, and all eyes upon whether that means that one or both sides may end up this week walking away from talks.
Ollie, the deadline for an orderly exit, we know is looming. Do we know what happens next?
Well, if there is no progress made this week, then we have a couple of options. One is that both sides come back to the table in the future and carry on negotiating and trying to reach a deal. The other is that nuclear option that I mentioned previously about one or both sides walking away from talks and heading towards preparations for a no-deal scenario. What that would mean is there was no trade deal in place at the end of the Brexit transition at the end of this year, and the UK would revert to what it started to call an Australian-style deal. Well, Australia doesn't have a fully fledged trade deal with the European Union, so what that really means is reverting to World Trade Organization terms in terms of its trade with the EU and all the barriers to trade that would involve and that would erect. Now, even if the UK were to collapse talks this week and walk away, I don't think we should assume at that point that is the end of the matter. Some of this is certainly brinksmanship, trying to play hardball, and we could still see the UK and the EU returning to the table, even if it was a collapse of talks this week.
Well, thanks for that update. Ollie Barrett speaking to us from London.